Hello and welcome to Sprue Models Kit Review Time. Today we got Vespid's 1/72nd. This is an A-34 Comet Mark 1A. Again, been getting into a lot of 72nd scale recently because the quality is just going up and up and up. So we thought this time we'd have a look at a little bit of the armour world and see what's going on there. So if you're a bit like me, you've probably never heard of Vespid models before, but I'm led to believe they do some absolutely fantastic, very, very detailed 72nd scale tanks. So we thought we'd have a look at number 2 in their world, in their kit releases, and to be honest with you, we got their mouse as well, which is their number 1 in the series, but I thought we'd start off with this one first. So you see, nice little bit of box art, very classic. Okay, we've got some of the options down in here. So we've got one from Germany, 1945, well they're both Germany, 1945, one's March, one's May, with the length armoured division. Okay, so that's very nice indeed. Quick run round on your box. So your number for this one is VS7200002. Okay, and then you can see a little bit down in here, so you can see about sort of Lincoln length tracks, some of the details down in here, and what took my eye, to be honest, was the metal barrel, photo etch and decals in such a small little kit just like this. So in the box we can see we are greeted by just a few little sprues, very small and dinky. Beautifully done. They look really nice, very, very nice and sharp. So in here we've got the barrel and the photo etch parts and things like that down in there. And then in here we have the booklet. So in the booklet itself, just get inside, you can see it's actually going to be a sort of pulley out one, I think, so we have to work our way around it. All right, so as you can see, it's part knots used, so there is a few other ones down here, so watch out for those as you're making your way through. Colour call outs, literally you've got standard, what it is, wood, brown, tyre, steel and all the rest of it, but then obviously in hobby colour, Mr. Hobby, Humbrol and Tamiya as well, just to make things a little bit easier. Okay, so down in here we've got the hull and then the side plating going on there, and obviously we've got the turn wheels and we've got the sprockets and the actual main wheels as well going down on here. We've got the road wheels being fitted underneath and some of the stowage items at the back, photo etch up here as well. And then straight into the actual Lincoln length track. So we're assuming you can probably put these in afterwards. All right, so as you say, you have got them down in here to put these in as well. Okay, so what you're actually going to be doing, these red ones, is making up 18 of each down in there. So we're going to need 2 lots of that, that's fair enough. And then just down in here, we've obviously got the front port gun, bow gun being fitted down onto this one, all the various parts going on the top of the hull. Obviously we've got stowage bins, things like that, all being added onto these. And then we're coming around putting the lower and the upper hulls together. Again, another little bit of photo etch going just down in there. These are obviously going to be the covers for the actual viewing ports. Okay, and then adding on some of the plating going on the outside, some of the bars, a little bit more photo etch going down there as well. So we've got the towing eyes, things like that in there. Exhaust shrouds, depending which version you're doing on that one, being fitted in. And then you've obviously got the option of the metal gun, or are you going to use the actual the plastic one that's down in the kit. But anyway, top going on, so you've got the gun mantle being fitted onto the breech, various bits and pieces going down in here. Again, open or closed position on all the hatches, which is a nice touch. A little bit more photo etch as well, making up some of the detailed stuff, and then getting the turret installed onto the actual main hull itself. Then we've got the options for the markings, as you can see. They're a little bit glaring with the camera today, so you can see we've got those very nicely done, and we've got another one over there as well. Actually, all looks extremely promising. So just starting off with the small little stuff to start with. So we've got a little snap bag here. So in here we are greeted by, we've got the barrel itself, which actually doesn't look too bad at all. That's very, very nice. Very cool. Beautiful detail for work for such a small kit like that. We'll leave it on there so we can see it a little bit nicer. A little bit of that photo etch we were talking about before, and again, very, very nicely detailed on there, so that's really nicely done. Okay, and then we've got the decals, and again, decals, you can't see much down in here, but rest assured they look quite nice. All look very nice with the white down in there and in the red, things like that. So we just pop these back in the little bag purely so we don't lose them. Okay, so let's get those in there and we can just zip that up. Okay, so detailed parts themselves, we might as well stay in nice and close. Again, this is what we're talking about, how the small kits are really getting big on detail, because I can see it straight through the bag here. So again, on the bottom, you can see we've got the plating, all the bits and pieces down in there. We've got some of the details for the side work with the suspension. One piece type hull on this one, looking very nice indeed. Okay, and then the actual top turret there, again, looking across, catching it in the light, some of the details, they're all very sharp, very cleanly, crisply molded right the way through, and even on the inside it's nice, it's clean, which is obviously very nice indeed. Okay, so that's that one. Then we've got down into the sprues. Okay, so this sprue here, as you can see, we've got actually the top hull, things like that, and again, catching it across the details, you can see how nice and proud, but how sharp, and the panel lining is beautifully done. Really very, very nice done, good and sharp. These side areas, again, with the bolting, is sharp to the touch, which is really nice, especially in this scale. Very, very clean, crisp moulding on these, and the bolt heads, even on these side plates, are very sharp, nicely detailed right the way through. So you catch it in the light there, you can really see the details on this one. On the blind side, obviously, it's nothing's going to worry us, but you can see how clean it is as well. So very, very nice in there. So the sprue here, so we've got the bottom of the turret, got the gun mantle, things like that as well. And again, all the parts nice and clean. And it's nice to see how small the actual locating and injection ports for the sprue gates are. They're actually very, very fine on the smaller parts. Beautifully done. These over here, I don't think you take into account how small this is till you sort of get your finger in there to demonstrate it, because they are minute. Very, very clean, very sharp details on those. Okay, next up we've obviously got a pair for the wheels, if I can get in the bag. Okay, so we've got the track, which is sort of link and length, so we've got a match pair in here. Obviously we've got the two. So as we can see on sprue C, very, very nice indeed. One piece return wheels as well, which is nice. That's a good touch with those. These are going to be popping these tracks together, and again, they're very nicely detailed right the way through. There's no big ejector pin marks on the other side. The guide fences or teeth, very nicely done. And actually, individuals with these, they are molded across the part, which I suppose you'd have to do at this scale because they are so tiny. So you are going to have to do a little bit of clean up in there, which will be a little bit, but to be honest, you're only talking 18 each side, so really that's not a problem at all. The wheels, as we can see down in here, again with the bolt detail and everything else, looks very, very nice indeed. The idler wheels and obviously the drive sprocket as well, looking very good, clean details on all of those. So yes, I have to say I'm sold. That's beautiful, the good quality sharp details on these. But really, when you're just looking around, like especially on here, as you can see, this upper hull, the panel lining is so sharp and it's so crisp and things like that. It means it's going to work really well with weathering, even in the smaller scale. It's not like they're soft or they just fade away. It's not. It's sharp. It's right the way through. The bolt heads are going to take washes and pigments and things like that. So you're going to be able to weather these just as you would bigger 35th scale stuff and things like that. So really, I can't see a problem with that one. Beautiful little kit, I have to say, highly recommended. Never seen it before, but there we go. That's the Vespid 1/72 scale A-34 Comet tank.